In the world of MMA, there is a common belief that to win in the ring, you need to have a body like Hercules.
Muscle don't ice, like, you know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
But these chubby fighters are here to break that stereotype. Even though these cholesterol-charged mutants are destroying burgers at McDonald's rather than hitting the gym. In the ring, they become true killers, ready to literally devour their opponents. Today, we're going to tell you about fighters whose extra weight blends perfectly with knockout power. This is Boxing Game, we go. This is Chris Barnett, the chubby fighter also known as Huggy Bear, who celebrates each of his victories with a belly dance. In 2010, thousands of spectators witnessed his fight against the tattooed giant Jay White. From the first seconds of the fight, Barnett decided to replace White's tattoos with bruises from his punches, and the brutal exchange began. After a brief break in the clinch, the hellish meat grinder continued, but only Barnett managed to leave it on his feet.
Because he's got such an unusual build. White in some trouble at the moment, swing his way out of it, back up. Right on top of his Barnett.
Meanwhile, White descended to the underworld, following his hairline.
In the battle of the Barnett gets the knockout.
And at the end of the fight, Chris entertained the audience with another dance routine.
In the men, Barnett gets the knockout.
The legendary Roy Nelson's physical attributes never stopped him from sending his opponents to dreamland. But the most memorable fight of his came in 2008 against the true beast, Brad Imes. From the very first seconds of the fight, Roy started the hunt, and with his first shot, he rocked the big guy. Roy's punches hit Brad's head harder than cheap liquor in a saloon. Then Big Country started ringing Brad's ears with his loud shots. After that, Roy threw the finishing blow, knocking the giant to the ground and securing an early victory. Before Big Country went off to grab a big tasty. This pumped-up giant is named Geronimo dos Santos, known as the Chef in the Ring. And this time he set out to make a cutlet out of Vyacheslav Datsik. But the madness of the Russian fighter could be measured in his rage was enough to take on two opponents at once. The two wild beasts started arguing about who had the higher degree of insanity. At the start of the fight, Datsik immediately showed his opponent who was at the top of the food chain. He decided to bury all of Dos Santos's hopes of victory. In the end, Dos Santos realized he couldn't withstand a fighter with such a thick cholesterol armor and cowardly refused to continue. In the distant year of 1998, Eric Ashe, betting against Billy Eaton. The crowd froze in anticipation, ready for Billy to serve Eric a lunch of punches. However, from the very first seconds of the fight, Butterbean used all 300 pounds of fury to literally smash his opponent with heavy blows. Then, Butterbean decided to add a pinch of showboating to his punches. But at the last moment, Butterbean faced his true enemy, his excess weight. The ton of burgers he had eaten started to affect his stamina and speed. Billy quickly began to exploit this, turning the huge chunk of meat into a punching bag. However, He didn't realize that Eric's cholesterol armor absorbed every hit like a sponge. Butterbean got a bit too hungry, since for his meal, he chose Billy himself, seasoning him with a knockout. The result, Billy Eaton was eaten by Butterbean. At the Road FC tournament in China, Bob Sapp faced chubby Iorigella, who had already been given a spot in the cemetery before the fight. But during the press conference, Iorigella made it clear to Sapp what was going to happen in the cage. Like the chubby fighter had no chance against the chemically enhanced Sapp, due was perform his final dance. However, Iorigella proved the crowd wrong, so he went into fight. Then, Iori pounced on his opponent like a wings, but the referee decided to stop his feast. Still, the hungry heavyset fighter was satisfied with his victory and the applause of the audience. Our lineup of remarkable fighters continues with the Brazilian Zuluzinho, who faced the Serbian monster Marko Djurkovic championship. In the fight, Zuluzinho immediately slammed his opponent to the floor and, wrapping around him like an anaconda, aimed to crush his internal organs. Perhaps feeling sorry for Marko, asked the merciless heavyset fighter to release him from the suffocating fat hole. The Brazilian didn't let it go easily and put on a carnival of strikes for the Serbian. However, the referee decided to end the violent festivities, concluding that Marko had had enough. Apparently, some fans were disappointed by the short fight, and Zuluzinho decided to cheer them up with a victory dance. Our list continues with Andy Ruiz, the Mexican fighter who stepped into the ring against the undefeated dildo builder Anthony Joshua. In the fight, Anthony immediately hit the pudgy fighter like a bolt from the blue, but don't judge Andy by his wrapper, because Joshua had awakened a true predator and to tear into his prey. The Mexican then unleashed a couple of hooks, delivering them with the precision of a wrecking ball. Ruiz continued with surprising speed, delivering punches that left his opponent no choice but to take a breather. After reloading, Anthony attempted to resume the fight, unaware of fire, and got burned. Ruiz emerged victorious, giving the crowd an unforgettable experience and showing that someone of his physique can easily... All of these fighters have shown by example that to be a champion, necessarily need a muscular build. They've etched their names in the history of cons with golden letters and bold text. Smash that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Was Boxing Game. Thanks for watching.